It's 7. How are you? Johnny Daniel, your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. Are you good? Are you not? How are you? All right, let me get this on and see what we got. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, I think I got it. That didn't take that long, did it? Okay, so if you're on with me, please say hello. And I'm gonna wait just a half a second. We've got quite a bit tonight, so I want to make sure you get on. Let's see. So who's on with me? All right. So for tonight, there's a couple things. For one, hey Penny, how are you? All right, so a couple things for you tonight. The November highlights are out. They went out this morning at 6 a.m. I'm glad you're good. They went out at 6 a.m. So the only major change is the class. Signups are going to be November 1st through 30th for the December class. It's going to be an organizer of sorts for cards, along with a bunch of cards, and more details coming soon. I'm working on it now, I promise. So there you go. So let's see. Team gathering, farmers market, on stage, club order bonus, Christmas card buffet November 19th, if anybody's interested. What's that mean? I'm going to have a bunch of mats out. I'm going to have some simple cards. You're going to be able to do a bunch of cards and get a whole bunch done. That's what that means for a reasonable price. And with the Christmas card buffet, there will also be a buffet lunch that's involved with that. And I think it's going to be baked potato / salad bar. Just FYI for you. That might change, but I'm pretty sure. And then last but not least, we're not going to do open day on the 26th of November. A lot of you will probably be out of town, but for those of you that will be here, because that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, like we normally do, we're going to be doing the Christmas party and the open house for the new mini catalog. So there you go. Okay. So tonight we are talking about the new, and I know it's backwards, I'm sorry you guys, but the new Fitting Florets. Okay. I'm going to be showing you the collection, and this will be available for you to order starting November 1st, which is next Tuesday. Okay. So there you go. I forgot to pull out the gems. Hold on. We're going to get there. I have them. I just forgot. Okay. Now I can show you the rest of it. I knew there was something I was missing. So, all right. Well, I'm going to flip you around and we're going to get going because we've got a bunch to do. In the next couple days, and I'll announce it, I'm putting out online on my online shop, stampingwithjohnny.com. If you go to shop, I am going to be putting all of my retired sets online, and it's actually going to be cheaper than in real life or at craft fairs. So you want to pay attention to that. Yes, you will pay shipping, but it's $6.95 for one set or all of them. So, so let's see, what else do we have? So that's the featured for tonight. Let me flip you around. Let's get going. All right. So hold on a second. Maybe. The button didn't work. There we go. Gotta love it when things don't work. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm kind of lined up. Kind of. So, all right, let's see what we got to do here. Normally I need usually another inch of space. So there we go. Okay. So, all right. So tonight I am introducing you to Fitting Florets. Now it's the right way, right? If you order the collection is $97.50, and that includes the bundle, still at 10% off. That includes the stamp set. That includes the designer series paper and the gold adhesive backed swirls. So there you go. Okay. Then, just some more description and whatnot of what there is. So what this is a preview set. This is available November 1st to January 4th, but this is a new set. So this is a cheater set that will be available in the new mini catalog come spring. Okay, so that's what we got. Okay, so I've done some preparation for you. This is, if you want to screenshot it, these are the dies cut out from the collection. Now, this is a freehand around. There is not a die that goes around this. That just cuts out. So many ideas I have for that, but to stay with the theme and to have enough room, that is that. The only thing is I did not keep any of the punched out hearts. So, but you can obviously what size they are and all that. This is a flower cutout, a leaf cutout, another leaf cutout. So this and this cut out at the same time. This and this cut out at the same time. Okay, this is a flower, and I'll show you the stamp set and we'll show you what matches and everything else. Some leaves, some pretty sprigs, swags, that kind of stuff. So, and my first thought was Victorian, and my very first thought was, my gosh, this is going to go with the whole cup of tea and the 6x6, was it boutique tea boutique paper? Anyways, okay. So there you go. So a couple samples, right? Okay. Just a couple. All right, so first off, before I do that, ribbon for tonight. Okay, so this is the stamp set, and I'm waiting for it to pop up to see if there's too much glare. I'm trying to figure this out. So while I'm waiting for it to pop up, wishes for a beautiful birthday. Thank you with all my heart. So lucky to call you friend for a special person on a special day. Just a little reminder you are loved and celebrate. So cool, right? And then look at, I'm like, the fonts are super similar. And with the whole oval thing, I just thought, oh my gosh, cup of tea, right? That's what came into my brain. So there you go. So to see the collection, not the cup of tea one, but the framelets. Okay, so this is the framed florets. Framed florets, not, oh yeah, whatever I just said. So I'm going to pull these out real quick. These are, let me do this. These are the dies. So here's your heart oval. Oh, my leaf didn't come out. Hold on. Oh, that's the second one. It's okay. There's two of them. There's two of the leaves. And then this is another oval with the little hatch kind of thing that pops out. Now, these are great for scrapbook pages as well as, this is the Victorian one I was talking to you guys about. It just, I'm like, yeah, that goes with the cup of tea thing. So, and then we've got like a sprig kind of thing. And we've got a detailed leaf, which I thought was just going to emboss. But as you can see, it cuts it out completely. So I'm sure you could like very carefully not punch it out and then just glue it all down if you want the embossed look, but it does punch it out. So there's that. Here are those gold swirls. I'm gonna wait to see if you can see these. My light is washing out. I'm not sure why. How's the light for you, Pen? Just curious. And then to show you what goes with what, I figured I would do this. So this die goes with that flower. This goes with the swag. This goes with this flower. It really does. I just have to remember how. Yep, there we go. Okay. This one goes with this. Okay. Is the lighting okay, Penny? So there's that one. That's this leaf here. And then this is this little leaf here. There are not labels to go with the words unless you count the huge ovals. So just for your info. Okay. So there you go. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the paper. I have a brand new pack here. Let's see here. Okay, so the paper is very pretty and very elegant. If I could get it open. Can't always do that now, can I? Okay. Ooh, I think I just hit the phone. Sorry. All right. So the paper. So we've got 2 sheets of flowers. I like the backs though. I'm a blue person, so this just makes me happy. Okay. So there's that one. And then this one we used tonight on the sample. You'll see it in a second on the scrapbook page. And then some pink. I love this page. This is one of my favorites out of the set. And then just some, I believe this is soft succulent color. So there's that. And then we've got busy, busy, busy. So I'd probably have this as a background or do a punch out of 1 or 2. And then this is Evening Evergreen and Bashful Blue, I believe. This is Night of Navy, Bashful Blue, and I can't remember the pink right now. I'm sorry. Looks like Flamingo, but I'm not certain on that. So actually I have the flyer right here. Hold on. Blushing Bride. Polished pink. Polished pink, that is. So there you go. And then lots of polished pink. And then last but not least, we've got not quite as busy, but still pretty. Are these pansies? I'm trying to remember. And then a nice gingham. That'd be great for winter time, you know, backgrounds, that kind of thing, right? So, okay. So let's see here. All right. So here's some of the projects I made. Let's move some stuff over. Sorry, I'm running out of room. Go figure, huh? So here's some projects I made with this. Let's see if this can all fit in the same frame. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Okay, so with this one, this is a double layout 12 by 12. And this one, the idea was to have, good, it fits. The idea was to have it be a picture, a picture, a picture, a picture here where the white is, have it be journaling. So where you're going to write day 2, why it was fun, what happened funny, whatever the case may be. I just cut this out of the designer series paper. You can put another picture here, more journaling, all kinds of stuff, and then just decoration from the cutouts opposite. But just a quick idea of what you can do. These the corners were all done with that trio punch. So there you go. Okay, so that's one idea. And then there's always more, right? Then we had this one. Now this was on the blog Tuesday and Wednesday, so you've probably seen this one. This one is all white, but lots of texture, lots of depth to it. So we started with just a white basic, and then we've got, this is the fern embossing folder, and then we've got the oval and the punch out, but punched up, and then we've got a little sprig or swag there. So, okay, so just a quick little. Then we have this one. I've used the Wink of Stella. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is also punched up. And then I've got the cup of tea, the boutique 6x6, cut down to 5 1/4 by 4 down here on the background. And then flipped, we've got the gingham out of that set. And then we have the oval, and then I stamped the teacup, and I colored in the leaves with Wink of Stella as well as the envelope, and that envelope is off of the designer series paper. Okay, and then just a little reminder, you are loved. Okay, now I also did the envelope, so I coordinated the leaf from inside here. Okay, so I coordinated that, and then I glued designer series paper to the front. So I'm gonna show you how to do that as well tonight. Okay, so here's what we're making tonight. Doesn't look like much, does it, until you do this? So that is what we're making tonight. So unfortunately the weather has gotten a little colder, so I've put my flip-flops away. I've got socks and shoes on now, but this is called a flip flap card. So even though we've put the flip flops away, we can still flip flap easily. Sound good? So I'm gonna show you how to make this card. Sound like a plan? Okay. So I need to find all my pieces. So I have an extra piece of white because we got to do that arm. I've done a lot of cutouts ahead of time. Why? Because otherwise we'd be here till 9 o'clock, and I don't want that. So I've got just a white envelope, and then I've got my basic white thick cardstock cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. On the 8 1/2 side, score at 4 1/4. One note, I will have the tutorial completely up tomorrow morning at 9:30, so feel free. Okay, so stampingwithjohnny.com if you're curious. All right, that's going to become the mat, so I need to cut that. And then I've gone ahead and cut all my pieces. Why? Because I don't want to be here all night, and I don't think you do either. So I've got a small and a medium circle. I've got 2 medium circles cut out in the evening evergreen, and then I've got a bunch of flowers and leaves cut so we can do this card, right? So but first and foremost, we are going to get the stamping done, get the coloring done, and everything else so we can be done and then just assemble. Okay, so first and foremost, right, we got to figure out what we're doing, huh? No, I'm just teasing you. All right, so one of these circles gets stamps on it. Okay, and so this is going to be the outside one. This is going to be the inside one. Sound good? Sound like a plan? Okay, so here's that. These flowers are going to go on the inside. The bigger guys are going to go on the outside because the front one is bigger. It's just that simple. So I need to find my stamp set. Forgive the reach. And I think we're just going to do this monochromatic tonight. Where did my ink pads go? I put them out already so I would see them. And guess what happened? Yep. It's just how it goes. All right, so I've got my evening evergreen. Okay, so, and then we've got our stamps going. So, question for you. Let's see. Wishes for a beautiful birthday is what I had used beforehand. So would you like wishes for a beautiful birthday or for a special person on a special day on the front, and then we can swap? So wishes on the front or for a special person on the front? Or celebrate. I missed that one. Oh, we should do, oh, wait. Wishes for a beautiful birthday and then celebrate. I think we got it. So I'm grabbing a block. Okay. And unfortunately, the cover doesn't coordinate with how it's laid out in here. So unfortunately, you got to kind of figure out how many dips and tricks we have and then kind of do it, you know? It makes life a little fun. I wish it did coordinate, but I'm sure there's a good reason why it doesn't. So, okay. So there's my wishes for a beautiful birthday. So far, so good. I hope so. And then I'm going to put the other one inside. So I got to clean. Forgive me for a second. I know I'm off camera, but I can't have my entire room on the camera. I would have a big pile and we would never know what to do, right? So, and then celebrate, which is right here. And that's going to go on the inside of my card. Where did my card base go? I'm losing things already. It's not good. I know I had one. I found it. Okay, so card base is gonna go like this. Card's gonna go like this. So we're gonna put celebrate right here down. You know, some days you lose it, don't you? So I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. All right, so if you guys saw my table, you would understand. So, all right, so now I'm getting ready for craft fairs, so everything is piled high and all over the place. So there's my celebrate. And now we got to work on the rest of the card. So, all right, so now I'm going to grab my leaves because I already have it on the block. And we're going to hope and pray we hit this right. Why? Because I can't flip it over. If I flip it over, then it's going to be pointing opposite and it won't stamp correctly. I guess I could do mirror image and all that, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to hope and pray we hit them all right. Normally I would stamp these and then cut them, but I was trying to be a little efficient for you guys. Trying being the key word. So, all right, so now we're going to grab our larger flower. Not the largest, but the larger one. And I'm going to figure out how this goes. I believe it's this way. And I'm going to try to line up. We'll see how I do. It's hard when you can't stand up, lean over, and all that fun stuff. Man, I didn't do too bad though, huh? Yay! Okay. It's amazing what a little faith will do sometimes, huh? So, all right. So now what I need to do is I need to stamp my little leaves and I need to stamp my flowers that go in the middle here. If I don't use them all, I don't use them all, but it is what it is. That one's backwards, so I need to flip it over. If you notice, when I have one of these, see how the dents and the edges are kind of coming up? That means that's backwards. You want your edges to always go down. I'm not sure why, but it's how the die cuts, and that way you know it's backwards or not. It's just that simple. So there's one. we're gonna do one more and hope and pray again. Cross your fingers for me. Okay, there's another. And then we're gonna do our 2 flowers, and then we should, in theory, be done with the stamping. And then we get to the fun part of assembling it, which I'm sure is the part that you're like, how in the world do you do that, right? Because I know that's what I'd be saying. All right, so how are we gonna line this up? I know there's that bump right there. And I think that's there. Yep. It's amazing what stuff you gotta figure out, right? So there's that one. I didn't do too bad, but I didn't do great either. But hey, I got another chance, right? There's my second one. I did better. Okay. Too bad we only have 2 shots on that, huh? Okay. So now I'm going to put my little one on here. Not clean it first. I'm going to do this. And I do believe this is how this one lines up. So we're going to do that. I'm getting that little point and putting it towards me because that's how my stamp's going. So I'm hoping and praying. Yep, I think we're good. Okay, so all that's cleaned. I think that's, oh no, did I do my envelope? I wanted to coordinate my envelope. I forgot to do my envelope. Let's do that. So we're gonna do just the leaf because I'm gonna show you how to do the flap in just a second. So we're just gonna put our leaf, and then our flap on the other side is gonna have that gorgeous gingham. Okay, so cleaned, cleaned, cleaned. Okay, I think we're set. I think with all that. I hope. Except I'm gonna stamp my back stamp. So if it opens like that, some days you gotta like remind yourself, okay, if it opens this way, otherwise it becomes a left-handed card, right? So, all right, let's get this show on the road. All right, so put the card base back, and we're gonna get a little bit of cutting done. That is done already. So the cutting, we got to do our mat, which is 5 1/4 by 4, I believe. So we got, let's do 4. So I know I have enough still for the other, for the flap. And then that's going to be 5 1/4. That's a good piece for punches and stuff, right? All right, where am I going to put? Okay. So there's that. Okay, that. Okay, so the last piece I have is a 2 by 6 inch. This is your mechanism. So I'm going to cut 2 inches. And if you go a tiny bit under, that's okay too. I'm going to cut 2 inches by 6. So we're going to go flush up against the edge. Okay. And then we're going to score at 2 and 2.5. 2 and 2.5. Okay. So there's that. And you're like, that's it for the mechanism? Yeah, actually it is. So, all right, so we've got our 2 inch and our 2.5 inch score line, our small little square here, and our rectangle on this side. We're going to make this rectangle a tag real quick. So I'm going to stick this in here and push, and then we're going to flip this over so it's a left and a right. Got to remember to flip, okay? and then you got to come back across this notch here. That's your center point. And if we don't hit it perfect, it's okay. But this is your ribbon holder. Hey, I did that pretty good. My other one was really crooked. I'm hitting it good tonight. Somebody go play the lotto for me. So, all right. So, you ready? Okay. So now we've got our piece. Oh, okay. So now what we're going to do is you want to make sure and dry fit and make sure this fits through the hole very easily. Okay. This hole is done with the cracker. Oh, I wrote it down so I wouldn't say this because I always say cracker and treat box dies. There's a nice little pennant kind of thing in there, window as it were, and this is that and plus a tiny bit. You want to measure about 1 3/4 inch from the bottom, which happens to be about the middle, and you want to go at least 2 inches so this slides through easily. Okay, but you don't want it to be too much more gap than what I have here because then it'll wobble and it won't work right. So there you go. Okay. All right. So we're going to, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh. Okay. So first off, we're going to fold our score lines so we can see them easily. Okay. And what this does is, you ready? I hope. Okay, so we're going to really fold down our first one, and we're going to glue our piece here, and then we're going to glue our piece here, and this is going to become our mechanism for our piece. Okay, really, I promise. So first we're going to decorate. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to put some glue down, some Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to throw some leaves and some flowers down and hope for the best. Now, you don't want to go much past the circle because you have to stay within the score lines, because if you don't, guess what happens? Your card doesn't open and close very well. It's just that simple. So let's see here. Let's tuck this one down in here. There's not enough glue there. So we're going to do that. And we're going to tuck down in here. Okay. There's a little bit of glue there. It'll be okay. So we've got that. Take off all your extra glue. If you need an eraser or something, go for it, but that's what I got. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and our score lines. You are folding flat on the very first score line. If you're going from right to left, you're going to fold flat. Okay. Then we're going to put, I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. Let me put something behind it so you can see. Okay, so the tag's back here, right? But you're going to put glue not passing this score line, and you're going to put it right in the middle. If you use a square instead, it just depends on how much gets covered, right? So we're going to stick this down here. Do not go past the score line. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so this is how this should look so far. Okay, then we're going to grab our tear and tape. And I only use the tear and tape because it's such a small area that gets glued that I want to make sure that it stays put. Okay, so first score line, second score line, in that gap, you're going to put your tear and tape. Stick it down real good. Grab my snips. Put it. Okay, Now we're going to, sticky is coming up, right? Last I looked, yeah, but I forgot to put our big piece together. So let's do that real quick, okay? So my Stampin' Seal. I've got my circle for color. That's gonna go right there. Then I've got my birthday wishes, and I'm like, don't put the glue on the top so it doesn't stick to everything I don't want it to. So we're just gonna, I'm just kind of layering, okay? If you wanted different, go for it, but I'm just kind of putting, okay? If you want to use glue dots instead, if you want to use tear and tape, you can do that as well. You want to try to not go too far out on that center, okay? And then this is going to go, yeah, it's going to cover up a little bit of the birthday, but it's okay. All right, so there's my outer piece. So to go back to our panel here, so our outer piece, we are going to put, I put too much tear and tape. So I'm going to roll this back a little and have it just in the center here. See, it happens to the best of us, doesn't it? You know what? Now that this is, we're going to just take this off and start over. Does anybody else have that? Where they got to take it off and start over? So tear and tape, we're going to put right in the middle here, only a little piece. Okay. So there's my little piece. Okay, so when you put your bigger accent on, you got to cover your glue, and you want to cover this piece as well. And you'd want to not go past your score line here when you do glue it down. It's a tight, tight, tight fit. So when you have it all glued down, there's your 1, there's your 2, and then there's your piece, okay? So it's quite a bit to keep up with, right? So, all right, so now what I'm gonna do is not do the ribbon just yet, but instead I'm gonna do my envelope flap, okay? To get one more piece not flying loose around here, okay? So, no, I don't measure the envelope flap. I wish I did, but I don't. I haven't yet, shall we say. So I'm gonna just stick that on there and hope for the best. So here's what you do. You grab a piece that's wider than your flap, and longer, and you cover this in Stampin' Seal, especially your edges, because you don't want it peeling up. You want it to look like it's the flap, right? So that's the why. Then you're going to stick this flat, and you're going to go right up to that edge so it still bends, okay? Then you're going to grab your scissors and you're going to trim it. It's just that simple. Now, we've had dies to do this. We've had all the stuff to do this, but honestly, I'm like, this is probably the easiest and fastest way that I know how to have a coordinating envelope flap. Now, I didn't put that on completely straight, but look how cute that is, right? So I have a completely coordinating envelope. Isn't that awesome? So, okay, so back to the card now. So we've got our outer mat, we've got our inner mat, and we've got our piece, right? Okay, so, all right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this through, like this. Okay, and we're going to dry fit and make sure we don't have to trim anything. So what you're looking for is that this little punch out, if I can get it to stay, this little punch out where your tag is, you want it to just stick out past your edge, so when you have your ribbon, it sticks out just a tiny bit, but you don't want it to go much further because you don't want it to stick way, way, way out. So that's how that's gonna go. So now that we know it's going to fit, okay, you leave that slid through so you don't have to line that back up and go crazy. So you do that, and then as it's open, so you can see all the blank and all the score lines, okay, you grab your tear and tape and you do about a 2-inch strip, and on the very edge of your squares, okay, so this square here, not your accent piece because then it won't line up right, but your square, you put a piece of tear and tape. I know, white on white on white on white, but you put a piece of tear and tape right on the edge there, okay? Then we're going to peel it. Yes, I know it came out. It's okay. I'll be all right. So then you're going to peel it, and you're going to stick this back through. And we're going to get it. And we're going to make sure when you glue this down, you want to make sure it's on the card base and not any of the holes or the card itself. So you just want to make sure that it's far enough. Okay. And if we've done this right, there we go. There we go. So from the back side, okay, there's your mechanism. Let's get that ribbon on now. You can have it as short or as long as you want, but I need enough to maneuver. So I'm just going to double this over, stick this through, maybe. I love that this is more of a slot than a circle. I don't know how many times I've tried to jam ribbon through that little circle, right? So we've got that. So that's our ribbon pull. So we're going to trim off a bunch so it fits in our envelope. But you gotta still leave enough that people see it, right? That's the whole point. So they can still see that you gotta pull it, okay? Then we have to attach that to here, the inner mat to the outer mat. So we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna do a whole bunch of dimensionals. But when you do them, make sure you put them close enough that it pops it up, but far enough from the mechanism that it doesn't interfere with it. Because if you stick them on the mechanism, guess what happens? Nothing. It's just that simple. Okay? But we do want it to pop up. So I'm going to do 2 more. So there's enough space for it to maneuver. That's the why. Okay? So, all right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 in the middle, and then we've got 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to try to center this. Okay. And then we've got our card base. We're almost there. If you cannot get the glue on because it's too bumpy, which I totally forgot about, glue right on the card base, but remember that this is a 1/4 inch smaller, so you want to make sure that you don't go right to the edge, okay? So there's that, and then we're gonna try, let's fold this flat like I always tell you guys to do, and then I don't do it. And then we've got to get some gems, right? So these are the in color opal rounds, if you're wondering. At least a piece of them. They're gorgeous. So we got to get some of these on here, right? Maybe. There we go. So we're going to do a few of these. Remember to be paying attention to where that mechanism comes in so you don't get too close and it doesn't work correctly. Okay. If you do, you can always take the gems off, but that's no fun, right? So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always do an odd, right? There you go. All right. What do y'all think? I love this card. This is, I call it the abbreviated waterfall card. Do you remember the waterfall cards that, anyways, so here's the first one. Here's the second one with an inside and a coordinating flapped envelope. I should have used the gold things. Oh well. So which do you like better? Left or right? I'm just curious. So that's what I have for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com, and have a great evening. If you want to order this great collection, please let me know. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.